everybody, we are on to challenge number 7, lower head for brushing or hosing. And of course we're in New England, so and it's winter, we're not going to be hosing probably. So we're just going to do brushing. So the goal is your horse can lower his head and keep it there for brushing and hosing. The benefits, this is a partnership challenge. It will teach your horse to help you rather than fight or brace against you. These may not be tasks that at first your horse enjoys. Through the right process, feel, and repetition, your horse will learn to act like a partner and enjoy them while making your job a lot easier. Your friends will soon ask, where do you get a horse like that? Okay, so this should be a fairly easy one. We're going to do it with Gus and then that new colt I got. I haven't done this with the colt. Although, again, these are things that I do all the time. It's not something I just do for a challenge. It's something I always test out. So the first part is, can you just get your horse to lower his head? And so for this, I'd like to turn my hand upside down. And I'm going to offer him a feel. I'm going to start closing my fingers, applying some pressure. And the moment he starts to even think, if I can see it, about lowering his head, I'm going to release. So again, I'm going to offer him this feel to bring his head down. Really good. That was good. All right, so that's one way you can do it. Another way that you can do it is on top of the head. So, and I think I'm going to back up a little bit. Are we not in the shot all the way?
Nope, I got you.
Okay, perfect. All right. So, we're going to do it from the top of his head. If you do it this way, I would suggest holding on to the halter. And I'm going to back him up and just turn him a little bit for you. And I'll tell you why. Again, everything I do, there's a reason. So, if you're not sure, ask. So, if I'm asking my horse to lower his head from up here, I'm going to have a hold of the halter, and I'm going to lock my elbow into my side. Some horses, when you start to do this, their head gets to flailing around, and this way, if they push into you, your elbow is going to push you out of the way instead of getting your head clocked. So, take a hold of the halter here, just softly, elbow into your side, your hand up here. I'm going to think, can you lower your head for me? I'm going to go through the phases, hair, skin, muscle, bone. The moment he starts to soften and go down, I'll just go with him. Very good. Good. All right, so that might be the first thing you'd start with, and then we're going to go to the chair and do the actual brushing. Chair. Set him up so he's not in the way here of the camera. So now, can I invite his head down? And I'd like to be able to do it where I don't have to hold his head. It's his choice to keep his head there. So he wants to bring his head up. I'll just say, can you bring your head back down? It doesn't even do that part. And when you do this, if you have a softer brush, I'd get a softer brush. So when you felt comfortable doing it in a chair, then maybe go to something a little bit lower. I'm going to go to the pedestal. I'll just ask him to come over here. Every time you go somewhere with your horse, think about how would you like them to get there? How would you like them to get there? Say a little bit of the front end, a little bit of the back end. Always be thinking of your horse. Be aware of your horse. All right, in. Don't really want him on top of me. Back up a little bit. There. Head here. Good. Just the other day, the farrier was here and he brought his daughter. And I wish I had gotten a video of it, but he's got a little girl that he brought. And as the farrier was working on Gus's feet, she was, on his side, brushing his mane, and he was really enjoying that. So this is the task. It's a fairly easy one if your horse is confident and connected and relaxed. So there he's kind of connected over there, so I'll just say, hey, I'm over here. He's connected to something on the ground. I'll say, stay connected to me. Stay connected to me. Okay, so I'm going to go get the baby, and we're going to do the same thing with him. All right, so like I said, this follow a feel thing, this is something I do all the time. It's not something I just do for a challenge. It's something I do all the time. Can he follow a feel? All right, so we'll do the lowering the head part. I'll come back over here. Turn my hand upside down. Ask him to follow that feel. And now forward. Back up a little bit. These halters are a little bit big for these little guys. So part of him kind of nibbling on my hand is at certain times I give him cookies, not very often because he gets so focused on the cookie, he can't think about anything else. So it's going to be pretty specific times when I can give him a cookie, but not very often. Not very often. It's not about the cookie. Okay, so I'm going to notice it's the same point where his head was, where he wanted to come forward. So I'm just aware of that. Just aware of that. Again. There. Very good. Super. So I didn't make a big deal about it. I was just aware of it. And I also changed the position on where I had my hand. So instead of it being down here where he could kind of sniff it, I held it a little bit higher. So there is no right or wrong. There's things that work and there's things that don't work. And that's from Joe Walter. So that one was pretty good. Now we're going to do from the top of the head. So I'm going to just take a hold of the side of the halter. Make sure I can rub my horse up here and he's not worried about that. Now I'm going to apply pressure. Really good. Perfect. And again, when you do this, you want to make sure that your head is not over their head. So if they got nervous and picked their head up, you wouldn't get your teeth bashed in. That's really, really good. So I'm not going to do any more. He got it. There's no need to do any more. And this is one thing that I'm really just starting to understand, to not do it. If they do it once, then quit. That was really good. All right. So I'm just going to go take him for a cruise around a little bit. And we'll keep the camera rolling, and then I'm going to come back because I want to give him a break from doing this, and then I'll go to the chair. So we're just going to go for a walk. Maybe we'll go through a walk through the noodles. So go over here. We're going to say, how do you feel about going through the noodles today? I'll go on this side so that you guys can see better. I'm going to try to line him up so he's straight. He walks straight all the way through. Yield them hindquarters. That was really good. Okay, now we'll go do something else. Just kind of give them a break off drilling of the same thing. Gotta take the brush. I noticed he eyed that chair a little bit. Just aware of it. Just aware of it. All right. Good boy. So I'm going to invite him in. If you are afraid of your horse striking at you, then I would sit on something higher, maybe a barrel. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to kind of have this over my elbow in case I need it. Invite his head down. That's really good. Very good. And he's kind of sniffing the brush. And I'll take it. Very good. All right, now we're going to go to the pedestal. Back them up a little bit. Grab my brush. How do I want to get there? Well, we haven't done a whole lot of sideways, but if I say move your front end, and then I'm going to hold the front end, and the back end's going to swing. So move your front end, and now your back end. Move the front end, now you're back. Okay? So that's one of the things, I'm sorry guys, you're on this journey with me, and the more I learn, the more I want to tell you. And this is the coolest stuff about not making it happen, but set it up so that it does happen, and that it was their idea. So all I did is have a little feel on the halter, and that's what caused that hind end to swing over. This stuff is really, I just love it. I just love it. Okay, so again, I'm aware of this pedestal. We've been working with standing on the pedestal, and that's one reason why I try not to make it being a trick. I don't want him to think, oh, there's a pedestal, I gotta run and get on it. Because today, it's a chair. So, come up here and lower your head. Can't get much better than that. All right, so have fun with this challenge.